Hey there, Jenna here. Welcome to my channel where I take you on tours of tiny homes and feature stories of people living alternatively. In today's video, we're gonna meet a young couple that just turned a school bus into a fantastic tiny home on wheels. And look, I've featured a lot of skoolies on this channel, and just when I think there can't be any more innovating ideas, a bus conversion like this one comes along. Nick and Allison spent 2.5 years creating this gorgeous living space, and it really shows with plenty of natural elements including stone and wood accents and a unique free-flowing layout that somehow offers privacy and makes the space feel larger at the same time. If you like these kind of videos, make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell so that you get a notification every time I post a new video. But right now, let's jump right in and take a tour of this fantastic school bus turned tiny home.
Hey, I'm Allison. This is my husband, Nick. This is our hot dog, Ricky. And this is Mr. Leahy.
And we're here in the Colorado Rockies with our skoolie, Ophelia.
I think we both knew in college that we wanted to live in some sort of tiny house. We both want to do more traveling. That's a common interest that we both had. We also made it a goal by 2020. We wanted to be out on the road, to get out of our 9-to-5 job and start living a life that we actually dreamed of. When we put in a bid on eBay for the bus, I was actually at school in the middle of teaching an art class, and Nick called me. I had no idea why he was calling because he usually doesn't call me in the middle of the day, so I thought it was an emergency. And he let me know that we won, and we were the proud owners of a 40-foot school bus.
Like, damn, we just bought a bus, and that means the real work starts. We bought it out of state, had to fly to Indiana. We actually got to sleep in the bus that night. You know, we slept in the hallway, you know, between the seats. I'd have to say now it's quite a bit more comfortable.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Our bus was initially $5,000.
Overall, at the end of it, with the bus, I think we were right around the $45,000 mark.
We had a goal to finish in 2 years. That was our initial goal. Obviously, that didn't work. We're on 2.5. We've been living in it for about a month.
You want it to feel like home, like you're coming back to a place where you want to hang out, relax. I think in the end, the choices we made with the finishes that we have ended up making it feel that way.
All right, so let's take a look inside. This is the entryway of our bus. It's the first thing you notice when you come aboard onto Ophelia. We decided to do a tile entryway. So we have the mandala ceramic tile here. The pebble tile, on the other hand, was a lot easier to install. It's a pebble porcelain tile, and because it's an organic tile, everything meshes together really well. It's very easy to line those pieces up when you're installing it. So we have about 3 feet of pebble tile before it transitions into the acacia flooring that we have throughout the rest of the bus. And the reason we decided to do that is because we have 2 dogs, Ricky and Leahy. There are days when they come in and they have very muddy paws, so it's really nice for them to be able to sit right here and wait. This is considered our mud room. And what I use is this mud buster. It's just a little container with silicone bristles. You fill it up with soapy water and then you put their paws inside, cleans it really well. We love that. My mom never had a green thumb growing up, and I always loved plants. Unfortunately, we just never had any or many in the house. They never made it too long. So that's something that I've really acquired, is a green thumb living in Colorado. So we really wanted to incorporate as many plants in the bus as possible, really bring nature inside our home.
So we have our electrical system in the front above the driver's seat of the bus. We were originally actually going to put it under the bus, but then we realized you would have to have a heater pad for the lithium ion batteries because they don't charge below 32 degrees. We had to put it somewhere inside the bus to stay temperature controlled. In here we have 6 100 amp hour battle-borne batteries, lithium ion. We have 1200 watts of solar on the roof. We have our panel, which is an AC-DC split panel, so I didn't have to have a DC block and an AC panel. We have a master power switch here. Have to have that. You want to be able to cut that on and off. Emergencies, but also when you're outside the bus. You'll notice we have cane in the front. The main reason we did perforated faces was to allow the ventilation for the electrical system. It runs all day long, and if it was in a closed cavity, it would get quite hot in here, especially on really hot days, even with the insulation in here.
Here we are in our kitchen space. We decided to go for an L-shaped layout. One reason that we decided to do that is to separate our kitchen area from our living area. We have about 3 feet of countertop space for prepping. So starting at the front of the kitchen, we have our 3-burner stovetop as well as an oven underneath. Our coffee station is up above. It's very convenient. In here we have 2 cabinets, and they are on the gas struts. So we keep all of our dishes, bowls, and plates in here. Most of the finishes that you'll see in our bus are derived entirely from nature. So we have a Calicut gold quartz countertop. We have a mother of pearl peel and stick backsplash. Our floor is an acacia wood. All of our ceiling is pine. It was very important for me to have a very large sink. We also have our Berkey that's right here. We can just fill it up with our spigot, makes it nice and easy. On the opposite side of our bus, we have all of our food storage right here. We have an RCA side-by-side fridge, freezer. Up above, this is all of our dry food storage. Over here in this corner, we have our tiny wood burning stove. This keeps us very warm in the winter time. We ran this throughout the entire winter when we were building our bus. It can heat up to about 300 square feet, I think. This tile honestly was a nightmare to put in. Trying to create this curve against our ceiling was very hard to do. Nothing in a bus is straight, so that was very challenging, but I think we did a good job and accomplished that. We love the way it turned out. We also decided to get a fireball, so if the fire did get out of hand, it will instantly combust, or if we notice the fire, we can take it and throw it into the fire. This would instantly put it out.
So we're here in the workspace that I had created so that I have an area if I wanted to do work on the side, study. I wanted to make it a statement piece, and that was the slab edge. It's beautiful, I love it. I wouldn't change it out, I would do it again. It's a black walnut, and we're really happy with how it turned out.
Over here in our living room, we have our 6-foot pull-out couch. This actually pulls out into a queen-size bed to host guests. And we wanted to make sure that our couch was extremely comfortable. So under here, we have a layer of high-density foam. And then on top of that, we have a goose down insert. And then what I did is I used a drop cloth, sewed everything in together so it's not going to move around. We love the size of it. We love that we can pile both of us and the dogs onto our couch. Under the couch, we have our 55-gallon freshwater tank, as well as our plumbing system. On top of that, we had a custom panel created. It came all the way from Thailand. We loved the aesthetic of it and how it turned out. I'm a teacher, and Nick and I are huge art advocates. Something that tiny houses don't have is a lot of wall space typically. One of the solutions that we had to that problem was to get the Samsung Frame TV. It allows me as an artist to display my art, and then any pictures that we take out on the road, we can display on here as well. When we are lounging on the couch, this TV actually swivels out like this so that it makes it more comfortable to view. Right here we have 2 windows that we didn't block in, and then across we have 7 windows. So it's really cool when we're driving, whoever is the passenger can sit right here and just look out at all of the beautiful views. This is our hallway space. We did have a little bit of trouble deciding how this space would work. This right here is our wheel well. You do have to step down quite a bit when you're coming through, but that doesn't really bother us that much. When you walk through the hallway, the first thing that you'll come to is our bathroom door. We really love the way that this bathroom door turned out. Honestly, didn't think it would turn out as good as it did. We thrifted this door at a local antique shop, and we found the stained glass separately. Nick was able to cut a hole inside the door and lay the stained glass inside. We really like the way that this turned out. Let's see what's behind this door. We really wanted to have a large space that we could move around in, as well as if we had guests over, they can change in here and have a bit of privacy. So over here we have our bathroom sink and our little vanity. We completely made this from scratch. We decided to opt in for the bowl sink just because it allows for more counter space. We have the Nature's Head composting toilet. That's what I'm sitting on right now. I definitely think you could make this toilet on your own and not spend $1,000. You could probably do it for a couple $100, but it works for us. We really like it. You'll also notice that this is on a wheel well. Kind of feels like you're on a throne when you're using the toilet. We decided to convert a stock tank into a bathtub. I love my baths. It's not ideal all the time in a skoolie, but we are excited to be able to use that. And then we also have our Nebbia rainfall shower. The Nebbia shower, it mists out of here as opposed to just dumping water like a typical shower. It only uses 0.7 gallons a minute, so it's very efficient and we like it a lot. On the floor, we have a porcelain pebble tile, and we used a sanded grout. Sanded grout is better for the flex on the bus. So beside our bathroom and behind this curtain is our utility closet. This is where we have our tankless water heater. It's fueled by propane. All of these cabinets and drawers house all of our clothing. So we purchased these from IKEA, and then we cut them down to size to fit the curvature of the bus. So this is my closet. It's a lot larger than Nick's. It's on the opposite side of the bus, so Nick has his over here. And then down below, this is Ricky's little room, his kennel that he has to sleep in at night because he can't be trusted. This is our bedroom. It's at the very back of the bus. Honestly, this is the best that the bed has ever looked. I typically don't make it just because it's so hard in a skoolie. Back here, we decided to keep all of the windows. Being able to see nature from every single angle was very important to us. We can also open this back door, be able to look out at the river, the ocean, whatever that might be. We have cabinets only on one side of the bus. We wanted it to feel as open as possible back here since it already is such an enclosed space.
So our skoolie is a 2006 International, 40-foot long. They're 38-inch wheels. The tires we have right now are okay. There was one that we actually got a hole in it. We replaced it out. Get yourself a coverage plan. We have CoachNet, and they were the ones that replaced our rear inner dually. I was always concerned if something were to happen on the road, would I pay a huge tow bill, or would I have to pay a big fee to have somebody private come out and replace it? But now we have an annual plan. The door we changed from your standard school bus door. We changed it to an RV door. There's a couple reasons for that. One is security. We wanted to make sure we had a good locking system, and we have a keypad lock now that we actually can just type in a code. So that's kind of cool. The other reason, and I think the main reason, is thermal efficiency. Those old doors, they have no sort of thermal efficiency. You can feel every bit of air draft through it. Can't have school bus yellow. In a lot of states, it's illegal. So make sure you paint your bus. The white on the roof was pretty standard. We wanted any refraction of light as far as heat transfer from the sun. This, we like the old school V-dub looks. And a lot of the old school V-dubs had that tan body and that white roof. And that's kind of what drove us in this direction. We chose what is called dromedary camel. And it's just basically a tan or a desert brown. We don't have any method of transportation tied to the bus right now. We're not pulling a car. That adds more length, more weight, another insurance payment, something else to worry about. And so we decided to go, the bike and the e-bike route. We are going to be doing a front mount here in the front of the bus, welded to the front and to the structural frame of the bus, so that we're going to have bikes here that will allow us to go in and out of town, travel the area we're around. So underneath the bus is where we installed our propane as well as our gray water. Our fresh water's inside, and we have a 55-gallon freshwater tank inside. We have a 55-gallon gray water tank. We do wish we went with a little larger tank, but it is what it is. You know, you got to sacrifice sometimes to have other things. I have a spigot, an exterior spigot. I know that it's really unique. However, I wanted to make sure it was on there for a couple features. One is to drain the tank. If I need to drain the tank fast, I mean, it's very easy to do. It uses the pressure and gravity from the tank, so we don't have it on a pump. So it's just an elbow out of the tank right outside the bus. A couple other features, you know, filling up a water bowl for the dogs. We can also fill up a big gallon or a big bucket so we don't have to go in and out of the bus. Let's take a look at the garage. So we knew that storage was really important, and we wanted to make sure that we had plenty of it. What we did was we split the bed in half underneath. Half of it on the back side is the garage. The front half is storage for inside stuff like clothes or anything like that.
Anyone that chooses this lifestyle is a very creative person. You have to be willing to adapt to all of the new changes that nomadic life brings. A huge confident booster knowing that we created this entire little oasis all ourselves.
Thanks for watching this week's video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon with another tiny home or unique home tour.